One of the things is maybe you can give us an overview, because you and I have privately talked about my concerns with synthetic hormones, both for women and for men, and all the problems that creates. But as I know you're aware right now, there is a massive, massive upsurge in young men being put on testosterone replacement. I mean, everybody and their dog, even some of the people that I never would have expected to fall hook, line, and sinker for this have. I've seen it cause lots of problems. I've known men that were on it for 5, 6, 7 years, and then their sperm count got so low that they couldn't get their partner pregnant. Testicular shrinkage, all the stuff that goes with it. And most people haven't got a clue the difference between bioidentical hormones and synthetics. That's been going on with women. I had that problem clinically over and over again. And I had to, it was the only way I could get around it was I had to, every time I would address this with a woman, she'd say, well, that's what my doctor said I had to do. And I said, well, I got news for you. You have the freedom to choose another doctor. So I was forever sending people to doctors that had more of a holistic orientation and would actually do the work of being a doctor instead of just selling what the drug companies wanted them to sell. What are your thoughts on this issue, both of women and men being put on so much synthetic hormones, and what do you think's driving this, all this craziness, instead of people being educated about how to take care of themselves?
Well, it's just the same old, same old. I mean, I happen to be a resident when Premarin came in, which is the first widely available estrogen that wasn't an intramuscular shot. And this is made from the urine of pregnant horses, Premarin, pregnant mares.
Right.
And they don't even have a generic of it because they can't figure out how to make it. You have to, bleed a horse dry or have them stand in stalls and collect all of their urine, and then they kill all the male foals that come as a result. So the Premarin farms are kind of awful. I've been on the front lines of this from the very beginning. So what you want to do, if you're going to replace hormones, you want to use the lowest dose that does the job, and it should identify exactly like what your ovary would produce, or your body fat, or your adrenals. The first thing you want to do is get the nutrients you need so that your body can make the conversions of DHEA, which your adrenals make, to the sex steroid hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. And there are herbs that have been used for centuries that really, really, really help, that are adaptogens. If you give exogenous sex steroids, your own body's ability to produce them will go down. It's just a biofeedback mechanism. No wonder they get testicular shrinkage. So again, what you want to set up is, you want to set up the conditions where your body knows how to do what God made it to do. So we know, for instance, there's an ancient practice from ancient Greece called aeronation, where men run nude on the beach. Why? Because the sunlight bouncing off the sand hits the testicles and their testosterone increases. We know that natural light increases testosterone. Why you get out in the sun, men and women both need this. And what we're around, and of course this is Dr. Jack Kruse contribution, we're around blue light from the computer, the television, that decreases testosterone. So you need enough cholesterol. One of the awful things that they're doing is these statin drugs. My gosh. So that makes you demented, gives you muscle aches and pains, doesn't do anything for you. So you want to do everything in your power to get the body replete with minerals and B vitamins, healthy fats, so that your body can make what it needs. Now, in men and increasingly in women, we have this dopamine addiction from porn, which most boys are knowing about from the age of 11. Now, if you're anywhere near a cell phone or a computer, that's going to come on, and that's a large part of how they traffic children. And so you need to stay away from porn, which is the most addictive. And then what happens to get that dopamine hit, which adversely affects testosterone. I mean, one of the number one things that urologists are seeing is 19, 20-year-olds with erectile dysfunction.
Yes, I see a lot of that.
Yeah.
I've had 19 and 20-year-old athletes ask me how to get off of Viagra. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's happened many times.
What we need is to get people back grounding on the land, or at least, pulse electromagnetic fields of some sort on the land, structured water, natural light, and the body will heal itself. But think about it. In the 70s, in the 60s, they started in with things that would lead to the depopulation agenda. So we had Hugh Hefner, Playboy, all the Hollywood stuff, and the music industry, sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah.
And this has wrecked families and people's ability and men's ability to have their erections come from their hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Mark Goffney, who is a Jewish rabbi, but a very, very sharp guy, he describes pornography as pseudo-eros. He said the nature of the eros of God is to penetrate and create novelty. And when you're engaging pornography, you cannot penetrate, nor can you create novelty. So you get a false eros. And so that's kind of like, it's kind of like a shadow. It's like a doppelganger. It's, in other words, it's actually, you're using the vital life fluids. You're throwing it away. You're giving your essence to nothing, to an illusion, right? Which is part of the problem with all the AI and all the illusion generating factor, which is, in Steiner's term, very Luciferian.
Yes. And it's all false light.
Hey, what if that scary, terrible thing in one of your dreams is actually a part of you trying to get the attention of the rest of you so that you can make important changes in your life right now? Could be health changes, could be relationship changes, could be how you're using your money. Well, principle number one of dream interpretation, that is a principle that is rarely ever broken, is that everything in your dream symbolically represents some aspect of yourself. If you want to learn how to interpret those dreams and learn a lot more about what your soul's trying to tell you so you can live and love fully, click the link below and join me in my upcoming dream interpretation workshop. You'll know you're supposed to be there because your heart will tell you so.
It's an inversion. Yeah. So where we're going is we will be creating communities of people where we're going to enhance fertility, true relationships, the right relationship with the soil, with each other, and so on. I mean,
I've been teaching for 40 years.
Exactly. But we've gotten so far off that the pendulum is swinging. We now know, I listened to Charlie Kirk, and he said there are more conservative young men now than there have been in 50 years.
Conservative meaning what?
Conservative meaning monogamy, and believing in God.
Common sense.
Common sense. Yeah. That kind of thing. Yeah. Not so much conservative, politically, but conservative in, okay, listen, let's work for a living. Let's do something that you love, that kind of thing. Yeah. Good.
The pendulum's coming back. A couple of things too, because I'm 64 and I'm still a lot stronger than most young men. Most people that listen to my podcast know there's pictures of me building giant rock stacks and things out there. And I've studied weightlifting and physiology extensively. And one of the things that I found earlier in my career, it was when I was about 47, I noticed that my body wasn't responding the same. But I found as long as I lifted weights that were heavier than 8 RM, 8 repetitions max. So I had to lift something that I could only lift 8 or less times. And I had to do that at least 2 to 3 times a week. And I found that it would bring my testosterone levels up.
Yes.
And I could leave the gym feeling younger and stronger and more vital. And where I used to train till I was completely fried, I started training till I'd had a good workout, but I wasn't draining the tank. I was always leaving a little something in the tank, so I wasn't cooking the system off so heavily. And I found that switching to shorter workouts, where I used to be in the gym for hour and 20, I would now go about 30 to 45 minutes. And I found that was important. The other thing that I found is that, one, all the natural whole food stuff you got to do, and everything you and I know about that foundation's got to be there. But I found that, because I work with so many men that they're younger than me, but they look a lot older than me, and so and so one of the kind of slogans I came up is, act young to be young. Don't keep telling yourself you're old and becoming a fuddy-duddy. Move the boxes, help the women, get exercise. Don't let this aging mindset take your mind over, or your body's going to believe it.